Hey everybody, it's Scott and Rita, and this is our session number 38. 37 you haven't seen yet. It's in the bag, we're in storage. But we have a really today. His name's Joe McVeen, and you may know him, you may not know him, but Joe, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
Sure. Hey everybody, my name's Joe. Obviously, I'm a masculine intuition coach and kind of stumbled upon Scott and Rita here by, the law of attraction universe. It just kind of happened. They manifested in my life. I think it was a video I put out there, and we definitely jived on the level of seeing things as they really are, and instead of this illusion for this world that we have to make money and play other people's games and live jobs that we don't want and have a life that doesn't feel like it's ours, that's not of our own creation. And so we really jived on that point of connection where, listen, people need to take control of their lives and steer it in whatever direction possible. And we both see a large group of people who are very spiritually connected and kind of ignored by mainstream society entirely. So, like, you can either be part of the mainstream, get out of the matrix, and start a business that isn't in line with your heart, or you could really start falling off the deep end, exploring this amazing new dimension that Scott and Rita are really good at teaching. And I'm actually going to fall off the deep end right now in front of your eyes. So here we go.
Sweet. Okay. So for folks who aren't familiar, Joe's going to volunteer and be courageous. And you'll get 4 minutes. And what we do in this Cosmic Dialog is we put ourselves in the future. And it's, Joe, it's your choice. You can put yourself a year in the future. You can put yourself 20 years in the future. Or you can put yourself even in the cosmic future of the spirit realm after you've passed these inner dimensions. And talk about... It's been a while since I met Scott and Rita, and this is what I've learned here. So and we don't know where it's going, and you get 4 minutes. Why don't you try that, or whenever you decide to quit?
Yeah, I'm fascinated that you're recording this because I'd like to watch it myself.
Totally. Go ahead.
It has been 120 Earth years since I met Scott and Rita, and now here I am floating around to decide which body to go into next. And looking back over the life that I created with after meeting them, it finally felt even more mine and 5% less attached to what I thought people were ready for. Because all my life before that, I realized that I was still playing by rules, still playing according to other people's games, and still not entirely able to detach from expectations of people, and as much as that's been my story, I apologize, I'm at a Panera if I'm talking quietly. As much as that's been my story of freeing myself from other people's expectations, I've always been on a journey. And maybe I'll never fully be free of that, being a human being that wants to connect to social circles and everything like that. But when I had the moment of clarity, shortly after, when I was walking out of that Panera that day, shortly after that, when I had that moment of clarity, where I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to say it exactly how it comes from my soul, instead of having to filter it 5% more to put it in a video that I think will get stuff, that I'll think will get what people want, or get whatever, blah, 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 blah. And that was actually fucking liberating. And that actually led to a business that helped me continue to travel the world and create and really touch people's lives on an even deeper level, but really got the attention from people who wanted to hire me as a philosopher for a large university, a university where I'm able to touch students' lives, just like my freshman year of college teacher. She was an English teacher. She showed me the Tao Te Ching when I was just an engineering student, not ready for it. I had to take the class because I was forced to. And since then, I didn't realize it until shortly before the conversation with Scott and Rita, but then I really realized it was possible for me shortly after the conversation with Scott and Rita, that I could finally step into what I'd really, really like to do, which is to be a philosophy teacher where I'm paid to go there. I'm paid to just like do whatever the hell comes to me and laugh like my number one role model, Alan Watts, just like ringing the gong and just going to town saying whatever the hell comes to mind from this place of truth and collaboration. Meanwhile, understanding all the world religions and understanding the perspective of the divine and helping people see many different aspects of what truth really is from all sorts of angles, because it's all the same fucking thing that we've been conditioned to be scared of from every angle, all of our lives. It's the same fucking thing. This God or consciousness or what you get to in yoga or the good feeling when you laugh. It's like, it's all just joy, and helping people in more and more innovative ways build lives around joy was something that I realized shortly after the conversation with Scott and Rita, that there's more than just one way to get there. And the only way that I had effectively conceived of sustainably bringing that to the world was heart-centered business. But now I'm starting to see that there actually may be more than one way, and that way will lead to everything that I've truly, truly, truly wanted to create for my life, which has very little to do with entrepreneurship in the business realm. And although I'm very good at that, and I've helped a lot of people find a lot of freedom in their life, it ultimately is much more about just singing the fucking song that we're here to sing, which I love being able to do in my videos. Time. Oh man.
Oh, keep going.
Keep going, though. Keep going. Finish your thought.
Now I feel like I got the brakes slammed on me. Which I do in my videos, and I teach people to do through plugging in inspiration to their marketing and helping their business be a heart-centered one. But when there's no business attached at all, it's like it's not charity. It's just what we're here to do. What we're supposed to do, just to give authentically from this place of what feels right. And there always is an avenue for that, and there always is an ear for that, as long as it's coming from the right place inside of your heart. So I realized that I should have a hobby of going there alongside my business of reaching people where they need to reach them, and that hobby ultimately will turn into the real thing that I want to be doing long term, which is inspiring kids to just quit, when they're freshmen in college, and say, because real reality is, ding, and we won't give it a name.
Oh, love it.
All right, now I'll quit.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
That was fun.
So
Damn.
who wants to supercharge first? Rita?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right. I'll give you 2 minutes, but we'll just see how that works out.
Okay, great.
I'm the cosmic timekeeper today, I guess. So,
cosmic time, isn't that an oxymoron?
Yeah, we love paradox. So, all right, go ahead whenever you're ready, Rita.
Well, a lot of people are happy to know that 120 years from now, there's still Panera. But the more important thing, we watched Joe after we met him, just take off in this cosmic conversation, teaching what he has learned in visiting the spirit world, in visiting all possibilities while he's physically on Earth. And the most incredible part of it is that he has created a movement. Joe, you've created a movement of the loving economy. As the existing economy was really just falling apart, getting dismantled at every turn, people suffering, Joe was showing the world that a gift economy actually works. And the people, when they receive from someone giving from their heart with the intention of helping themselves, being responsible for themselves, helping the person receiving it, and letting that spread from that person to the rest of the world, that this actually works. And this is so beautiful to watch, and something that Scott and I have dreamed of. And because it just touches the heart with everyone who experiences it, that there's just no stopping it. And after that conversation, it wasn't to help Joe, it was for all of us. It was for the three of us, it was for the world. And it just snowballed from there. And it's been so fantastic to watch this happen. And it gives the world hope beyond any kind of marketing plan or ClickFunnels or whatever other catchphrases of having a business during that time meant. And now the systems have collapsed and we're good. We're good. And we can feel so accomplished. That's what accomplishment, achievement is.
Yes. 4 minutes?
Yes. We don't need to continue doing to achieve. We just need to love and give and watch what happens.
Exactly. Wow. Remarkable. I couldn't have said it better myself because I'm a spirit now, so I don't have a mouth to say things, but beautifully done. Thank you very much, Rita.
You're very welcome.
Wow. All right. That was actually 3 minutes. I the cosmic timing, there is no real time in that. So we just let that happen. So, all right, I will start now. 120 years since Joe and Rita and I had our first conversation, and actually Joe went back to the spirit world for a while, and then he was really eager. He wanted to come back and just decide where he was going to come back in this new body, this new system that had been put in place. Because when Joe was first speaking to us, and we brought out this, he just had started this idea of this whole economy of love and this gift economy, and it was a new paradigm that helped shift coaches. It was a new paradigm that helped shift the coaching industry away from this idea of, we have to go through a funnel and get as many people as possible for these things. Joe actually built his business while he was on Earth, and his actually livelihood based on love, based on gift economy. It was a whole new revolution. Came at the right time, because at that time there were so many systems that were falling. There were so many divisions in the world. There were so many folks that had anger. And Joe could bring people there into that quiet space. And actually he had talked about people getting, courageous to quit, maybe quit in college, quitting those things that didn't serve them, and actually go their life from love. So one of the things too that he did while he was in the spirit realm was he had wanted all these time to be a philosopher, and he was hired as a philosopher while he was on Earth. But in the spirit realm, he continued his philosopher life in the spirit realm, where he began to actually liberate souls and actually talked about soul philosophy. What's the philosophy of my soul? What's the philosophy of love, and how do I want to come back and incarnate into the next body, into the next lifetime with a sole purpose of love? And so while he was there in the spirit realm, not only did he decide to come back, but actually in that spirit realm, he was actually able to help seed all kinds of souls that would come back to Earth to actually share this new heart-centered love, this evolution of humanity, because he was actually a philosopher that showed up on Earth and continued that in the spirit realm. People would meet him when they had their life reviews. People would meet him in the spirit realm to actually talk about their life reviews and actually sense that there was this presence of a grand philosopher that they were speaking to, who was actually looking back at them in the spirit realm. There was kind of this embodiment of more of a divine loving masculine. And so this was Joe's contribution while he was in the spirit realm. And he actually did this over again into this matrix that evolves and changes. But he was the other plant. He loved growing in lifetimes over hundreds of years to actually do it all over again, to come back into the spirit realm, philosopher, to plant and seed more folks on Earth, to come back to be those seeds of love for us, and to, move humanity forward, whatever that meant.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
That was great.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I don't know what to say. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, That's what we do.
That's great. That's really great.
So
Wow.
tell everyone your website and where they can reach out to you and where they can find you.
Yeah, the best way is joemcveen.com. I've got a recent book. If you're into books, you can get it there. I've got courses that are all donation based, so no matter where you are socioeconomically, the transformation is there for you if you want to live a life centered around love and bring it into a business that is still a transformational vehicle for love, not just this thing that feels weird when people have you sell to them and shit. So joemcveen.com is the doorway to all that stuff. Always the best way to find me. But man, I can't tell you how blown away I am by this experience. That was exactly what I needed today, and for probably the past month. That was amazing.
Perfect.
These guys are the real deal. If you haven't yet, send them a message or email or something, or comment.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, and if I have any wisdom for anybody that's listening, make videos just speaking whatever your truth is, because that's how Scott found me and started this conversation. And it's because of somebody that I looked up to who made videos that I made videos. So just get out there and let yourself be seen, because then magic shit happens.
And you never know where that's going to come from.
Yeah, could be Scott. Could show up. Yeah. That's funny. Wow, remarkable stuff.
All right.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
You are so freaking welcome. Thank you guys. I don't